just pushed on your face and I saw you.
You pushed on my face. Wait, I'm gonna move my laptop to the other side of the table. I think the light. Is it brighter? Oh yeah, it's much brighter. So I have like a.
Let me put my. Oh
my.
my
So I
God.
haven't painted it yet. We're gonna paint it together.
We are.
Yeah.
Okay. And we're gonna finish up the last few bits of the other bird that we started, that really high key one too.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do it.
I left it off at the I put clear stencils on it. And I did so this is the one that you and I did.
Oh my God, yeah. Okay,
I'll show you.
I gotta get this higher. Give me 1 second. I gotta get this higher. I need a little box. Does that work? Does that work? All right, here. How is that a good view for you?
Yeah.
Do you feel like
I can see it? Mm-hmm.
Is it bright enough?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's start with this one. And then I just have to change my lighting to be able to see what you have. I can't, because I have a light on. Oh, and I'm totally in the dark. This is really in the dark. Let me see. Oh, that must be better. Is that better?
Yeah, that looks great actually.
Yeah, so the lighting's better?
Yeah.
Okay, and do you want me to paint towards you?
No. Just paint however it works for you. I can flip my mind.
I can flip my mind. Oh my God, that sounds so funny. That's a great one. I think we've all flipped our minds in the last 6 months. At least one time, right?
Yep.
If not
we have. Yeah.
Yeah, at least once, right?
Okay, so
I don't have the same stencil that you have, but what I was really loving about this piece was sort of what I was seeing like in these underneath areas.
Yeah.
Like these white lines like in here and things like that. So I would really start to draw out these shapes and areas because I think this is going pretty well. Darkness is going pretty well. And I would also start to define sort of like my main character and then like what I call almost like supporting characters. Like I see a white flower here. I see a beautiful flower form here. I see a flower here, a flower here. I see a flower here. And then this becomes like this sort of secret garden. And I also love all of these sort of like hanging black, like viney things down here.
The sea grapes.
Yeah, like I just love these shapes. This part right here, I think is like where I'm gonna have like my blowout light, like as if I like made I could make an oval here. You know, it's gonna be quiet. This is like what I would determine as like a very quiet space.
Okay.
Just be like blended wax, and then also maybe I'd add a little bit of detail over here. This one piece now is sort of like the Lone Ranger. It's like so isolated in just the one thing. So I might try to do other things in this direction. So I'm just gonna paint it. And remember, like what I kind of encouraged you to do last week, and what I've really, just decided is part of my essential process is I take one image and and I just repeat it until I feel like I've done something. But only in sort of that abundant, it's almost like too, for me, like, I might not have a ton of money, or I might not have the biggest property. I might not have the best clothes and tons of pretty dresses, but it's like, where can I find abundance in my life? And this is like, I guess, the area, that I care the most about. And I try to create abundance here so that I'm not being stingy with myself or frugal. And I'm allowing myself a lot of, prints to play on, and a lot of opportunities, a lot of different options. So I really like to try to think about like joy and abundance here, and having lots of prints and lots of additional prints, right?
Yeah.
So actually, like for you, if you could narrow it down to like these 5 birds or 6 birds that you want to work with, and then create this abundant portfolio of all these variations of how you see them or play with, and how you feel and want to paint, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like a fun,
I like that.
Yeah, exercise. All right, so I'm just gonna paint with my mud, which is, I don't know, neither here nor there. But this is just a very light colored. It's just like a very light colored kind of beigey. And I have to just put a layer of wax on your piece because I don't have the wax that you have. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, so because this is just a print of your piece. So again, like I'm just gonna kind of.
Are you video recording this?
Yes.
Oh, great. I loved that recording you sent me.
Oh, good. Okay. So of course, like when I put a layer of clear or muddy wax over this, it really softened the whole thing like quite a bit, right? And I mean, so that's even an option for you to take this piece that you had and cover it with, another medium or slightly muddy medium, or, slightly toned medium is always a wonderful tool to soften anything, blend layers, right? And I think you have seen my demos on making kind of stencils, funky stencils, right? Bigger stencils, cutting paper. Didn't we do that last time?
You know what? I'm trying to remember because, let's see, I did your first 4 encaustic classes.
Well,
and we did do something with the paper.
So I'll just review. It's kind of fun. So like, I just take regular paper, like whatever, white paper, newsprint paper, or whatever. So remember I was talking about an oval?
Yeah.
So I might just like literally take a piece of paper and make myself a stencil. And then I love to paper cut. And I actually have a really good friend who's like a paper cut artist. So like, I like to think about these shapes, right? So I just cut this shape, right?
Yeah.
So now I have this, but I also have this, right? And so like, if I wanted to create an oval, right, or some type of frame for my subject matter, and what's nice too is I can kind of like use this sort of framing technique to kind of like separate my layers, right? So if I wanted this to be whiter, I could put it like this. So then like you can decide like, okay, is it better, do you like your window like this? You can play around with, do you like it like this? Right? And so what I can do is I can put another layer. I mean, part of me kind of likes it like this because it's more about the bird and this one flower, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So I can do 2 things. One is I can isolate them and I can do a layer of wax around them, right? Or I can do the opposite and I can do a layer of wax on them, right? So that's kind of neat too, to have these 2, like have and have not. So let's say I do a layer of sort of a darker color around, and then I really want to do like a light circle here.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go this way. Which way do you like better? Do you like it this way or this way?
You know what? I think I kind of like it like that.
Like this.
Because I feel like we're embracing more of the yellow background.
Okay, so this color.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to like emulate that color. So look, I have this color, right? Which is like a buttery yellow, and I have white.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pull up my hot plate here so you get a little bit of my, you see the corner of my hot plate?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of this on there, right? And a little bit of this. And then I'm gonna use a skinny little hake brush. And I'm gonna juice it up. Right? So I'm gonna make it pretty translucent. So I'm just gonna keep adding mud, keep adding mud, keep adding mud. It's getting a little bit darker, right? Because my mud is kind of dark and it's floating away. So I'm gonna add a little bit more white. And it's got a little pinkness to it, right? And then sometimes I feel like the most important thing about this is more the translucency of it than the actual color, because I know that I can alter the color.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so, and still I'm not quite as translucent as I'd like to be. So I'm gonna add, and I'm gonna warm it up a hair. All right, so and look, I can always test it. I guess it's all right. All right, so I tested it on a nice piece of white paper, right? It's always good to test it.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm just gonna go for it. And look, I am going like over, gonna go right over what's important. But I'm just trying to illustrate this concept. All right, so that's a little bit more opaque than what I like kind of hoped.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go for it. And I'm gonna thin it back using a couple other techniques. So here I'm gonna heat it with the gut. Oh, hang on one second, I gotta plug my heat in. I don't know why. Where are you? Oh, hold on. Here we go. Okay, we got power. So I really want to fuse these two layers together, right? And then of course I have to kind of wait a second. And I might just do another. Okay. I might just wait a second. So I'm going to take a little bit of a dark color too and work on the outside edge while I'm waiting for that to cool down. And sometimes I like a dark blue or a dark purpley blue. Even though I might not leave the final color like blue, I think that it's a safe one to paint with. And then I could always like, oh, this one's actually really pretty. Oh, this is like perfect. This is kind of a purple. So I'm gonna just add a little bit of kind of like these brushy textures, because to me, like sometimes just painting like this just suggests like grass, like movement, right? Like,
yeah.
And even look, if I go over that other, I mean, these are how I like to blend these layers. And even if I'm doing something somewhere else, like I just kind of like to do it. This is a great brush. This is like the hog hair bristle brush you buy at the hardware store.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
what it really gives you is like literally like look at how much grass like texture I'm getting.
Yeah. Yeah. I like those brushes too. And they're wide. They're wide and short.
Well, you can get them in multiple sizes. So I look, I have this one, right? And then you can also give them like haircuts, right? So if you want them less bristly, you can like give them haircuts. I mean, you can trim your hake brushes too, which I actually highly recommend.
Yeah.
But what's really nice too, what even happened on my palette was like whatever that like this color was, this sort of purpley dark blue mixed so beautifully with this yellow. So as and on the one side, I have it darker, and then I have it where they connected. So I like to use all sides, right? I like to go from here, do a couple of these, right? Do you see that? And then go back over here and then do a couple of those. Do you see how beautiful that is?
I do.
Right. And what else is really beautiful, Andrea, is the way now that they're becoming layers, right? And they're having dimension, because I'm going from dark paint to light paint, like right with this brush. And it's so light-hearted, like what I'm doing. I'm also going over this other sort of semi-translucent oval that I made. So it's really like starting to dance, right? These legs, right? And really create depth. All right, so let's see now what I can bring back of the bird, okay? So, I mean, and for every photographer, I think this is like a terrifying activity because you're like, wait, that's my very hard-earned photo that you just completely covered up. You're like, what the heck? I would never do that. That's horrible, right? Like, why would you do that? And the reason that I do that is to like sort of evoke, you know, this depth, like engage this fantasy, right? That we're creating a painting. I'm sorry, I'm just looking for my palette knife. I don't know that I want to use oh, here it is. I don't know that I want to use a razor blade. Oh my God, and the other favorite tool that I have in the last couple of weeks is like this crazy plastic, it must have been some kind of like kids sewing project.
Oh.
But it's so fun to like draw, like look, here's like your fun flowers, like, you know, to draw into the wax. So you can kind of like, I like to trace things. I don't know if tracing is like an activity, but like last winter when it was really horrible and the weather was horrible here, I would actually at night while we were watching TV, I would put tracing paper over these beautiful old flower books and trace the flowers. And then I could use those flower tracings in my collages.
Oh, yeah.
So there's always like stuff you can kind of do on the sidelines to like.
Oh, definitely.
Go back into your work. Like, you know, we can be as artists, we can be busy like all the time.
Oh, absolutely.
So this form right here, I really like this one that's kind of like, it's kind of like an umbrella. I don't know what you like.
It's a palm frond.
This one, it's so beautiful. Yeah. But like, look how too, like the cutout into the thicker wax just gets better and better. Like the cutout and the thin wax is cool, but the cutout into the thicker wax is even better. All right, so let's get our bird back. So I know he's like right in here, right?
Yeah, he's there. You know, speaking of interesting tools to use, a couple weeks ago, I went to this little island, Gasperia Island, and I started like seeing all these little bits of seashells.
Oh my gosh!
And I started to pick them up, and I was thinking, wow, I could use some of these for scraping and like poking into the wax. Look at this one. Can you?
So cute. Wait till I show you. Yeah, wait till I show you my seaweed collection. I'll show you my seaweed.
I got a seaweed collection too.
Yeah, I
love that.
Yeah, and I found this really cool bamboo. Like it's not bamboo because it's what came from the beach, but it was like, it looks like bamboo and it's hard and it has like a pointy round end. It's
so perfect. Cool.
Okay, so I'm using a little bit of heat just because this wax like cooled and like solidified. So I'm using a little bit and I'm just gonna get him out. Now, I need to get this part, especially off his body right here. But I'm really liking like the texture this made. And I just like the layers that are happening here. So I'm just gonna use that heat gun just to give me that little boost, right? So I don't scratch the paper. And two, do you see how especially this palette knife is such a great tool, Andrea? And when I scrape off, right, I can scrape back in, right?
Yeah, I've enjoyed starting to use that.
Yeah, I love it. And I love the quality of the shape it gives me. Because it's different than anything else I can do with the wax. Like this kind of like, you know, like scraping. Look how beautiful, right? So I'm softening the oval, and then this I could use, you know, back in here wherever I need light, right? Because this is my color, right? So I can kind of dance it around a little bit. All right, so I'm starting to break up this oval, which I like. There's a couple artists I need to send you, if you can remind me. Well, one is my friend Hope Khan, also has residence. She lives like Jersey half the year and Florida half the year, but she's also interested in Florida birds.
Oh, really?
Yep. She'd be a good friend for you. She lives in I guess she lives in Palm Beach area somewhere in the wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
And then this other person does like these florals, but they're all sort of like, oh, that was hot. They're all circular. They're circular. They're like these really voluptuous like garden settings. Okay, so my goal was kind of to break the oval up. All right, and then in order to like really pop him too, I'm gonna switch to another medium. And look, I can even trace him out a little bit. Oh, that looks so good. And I can draw in here. Now I would probably switch gears at this point because I've made some nice like layers, and I've also made some nice like drawing. So I can now go in here with pigment sticks or pan pastels. But like, look how much fun like this little area became.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
here.
made quite an impact.
Okay, so I think we can start to paint it and tone it. Do you like the direction it's going in?
Definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and two, if I wanted to go back to the strong stencil here that we had that was like, I could reveal a little bit more of that, right? So I could kind of just go in. And what's nice too is when you put a layer over another layer, you can kind of pick and choose what you pull back. So did you see how I just kind of carved, not exactly the shape, but like a little bit of the shape? And the palette knife also made this kind of cool, like archy cut. Do you see how like arched cut right here?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right? But this took a lot of guts. I mean, it took a lot of guts to take, you know, that whole oval.
I'll
right?
say it did.
Right, and cover that up. That's the one we did. Okay, so now look what I can do too. I can do a reverse oval, right? Since this was my shape, so I can cover this area. Do you see what I'm doing?
I do.
Okay, and then what color do you think we should put around here?
I don't know, perhaps go in the blues.
Okay, so we have the blue there. What if we went brown, like this color, or purple? I was thinking magenta even.
Yeah, I don't see the brown. Magenta or purple.
Magenta. I'm gonna make a color. You're gonna be surprised.
You're gonna do a brown.
I'm gonna do, well, these two are kind of, they're kind of like these two. Can you see them?
Yeah, what do you have, a magenta and a brown?
Kind of I think it's gonna be like almost a red brown.
Okay.
And notice too, like I'm not cleaning the colors that I had on my palette. Oh yeah, this is brown. This is one of RNF's, like, I think it's like a genius color because it can shape it red brown.
Oh, that's not the brown pink, is it?
Oh no, it's brown pink. Yeah, that's it.
Is that
brown
what that
pink.
is?
Yeah, brown pink. Yep. So look, Andrea, I'm actually gonna put brown, pink, like magenta, and this one together.
What is that?
That was that purpley.
Oh,
do you see?
I do.
It's purple. It's almost purple. And then I'm gonna add some mud. Oh, and that's lovely. Okay, so I'm gonna add a little bit more brown pink. I think I'm gonna add a little bit more. I'm gonna add an ugly coat. I'm gonna add a baby poop brown in there for a second.
Oh boy, that's where I got thrown when I started to do this. If you remember.
No, I think it can be useful though. I don't know. I think it's gonna be useful. Okay. So again, like I want this to be like as translucent as possible. I think this is a nice color. I'm gonna go for it.
Yeah, it looks nice.
Okay, so, and what I'm trying to do is get this, just trying to get this translucent glaze, right? And I'm not gonna go, okay, so let's see what that did, right? Let's see. And I didn't go crazy, but what do you think?
I love that color.
You know what? It's crazy. I think we made a good color. So that was 4 colors that made that color.
So, oh, so you did put some brown in there?
I did. I'll show you the 4 colors. And actually, I can take a picture of it and email it to you too. I think some. So I'm really fusing this too, right? And I'm gonna kind of repeat some of the actions that I did. I'm gonna take a picture of this before I forget with my camera. These 4 colors together. Hold on. Just before I forget, I'm gonna take a picture for you.
Okay.
Okay. So there's, you know, parts that we love and parts that we don't, right? So I'm kind of loving what's happening here. I think that this is too dark up here. I do like this corner, what's happening down there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's see what happens when I scrape it back a little bit. And I think this is going to be the last thing I do with wax. But what I'm really liking is the way that they're blending together and that the light, very light oval that I did is coming through from behind, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I still have another opportunity to change the color, right?
Yeah.
And I'm also going to scrape kind of in the direction of those palm fronds so that I'm getting that, like that semicircle archy feeling, right?
Yeah.
I'm not literal about it, but I'm getting it. And I'm just kind of getting like beautiful blended colors and movement and like lights and darks. And look, down here I have this beautiful, I have lots of beautiful texture, and I can kind of reverse the fronds because this way they're going this, right here they're going this way.
Yeah.
And then at the bottom I can go this way, and I've got some depth here. Now I don't know what's going on with this bird's tail. Does he have a tail?
His tail is behind one of the leaves of the sea grape tree.
Okay, so I don't have to worry about this area.
No,
Like
that's behind. Yeah, he's like tucked in.
I'm not looking for his tail, is what I'm trying.
Right, it's not there.
It kind of looks like he's on this branch, though. All right. So I think this is looking pretty good. Now, the last thing I'm going to do, and then we're going to switch, I guess, to your painting because I think this is kind of cool. Is I'm going to do pigment stick, right? So I'm going to do a dark color. Now I could do, now this is an interesting question. So I could do dark at the bottom, but then I could do more light at the top. Or I could do green. What do you think?
Wow. Or you could do green.
Yeah, or you can do green because if you're talking about palm fronds, if you want it to be realistic, right? Or you want to be in this color palette, there's so many opportunities for you as the artist to decide, you know, my leaves are going to be purple. You know what I mean? Or are they going to be, right? Are you staying in this fantasy or, right? And I have all this texture, right? So now I'm taking this pigment stick, and this is like bright white. I mean, we can play around with the white too and tone the white, right? Once you decide you want to go for a light color, I mean, I can put more neutral white in it and soften that white. I could put a little bit of green in here, right? I mean, look, we could put like a chartreuse green and purple or magenta look really good together, right?
Beautiful.
So like maybe that is a good color, right? And then look, can you see that? Oh yeah, you can see
I can see very well, yeah.
Right. So this is like one of my favorite. I mean, this is where I really get just into my jam is mixing these pigment sticks, really blending these colors because I just trust the R&F pigment sticks so much.
They're so beautiful. I love that chartreuse color.
Oh my God, I love this chartreuse color. And look what other color I just bought, Andrea. Oh my God. Where is it? It's so good. And now, of course, I can't find it. Well, brick red is awesome. Oh my gosh, where is it? It's like neon. It's like a neon yellowy green.
Mm.
It's really cool. And like even this color might look nice in here. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what I tend to do is just kind of freestyle it in here and blend as I go. And then, you know, I'm going to go into the paper towel, right? And go and take it back, right? But I'm focusing on these lines that I made, like where I kind of drew.
Yeah.
Right into it. And I just love, I just love these peachy greens and oranges on top of these purples. Right?
Yeah, that really looks nice.
Okay, so it still looks a little messy. And look, there's this color in here. But now we're going to reduce it, right? So I'm going to take the paper towel and I'm going to blend it. Right? So if I like it somewhere, right? Oh, that looks nice. I'm going to have to send this to you. You have to send me your address. I'll mail this to you.
You're so sweet. Thank you.
Okay, and then let's go. That looks kind of fun. It's kind of like a little. Now when you do this or whatever, you know, however you draw it, you know, whatever marks you make, it's totally going to be yours.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not going to have anything to do with what I just did. But look, I just tried to like kind of. I still like that oval. And maybe this is one color down here. All right, so let me do now the dark colors, right? So where are we gonna put dark colors? We need to kind of pop it. So definitely in him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that enough definition in him? Think he needs more?
Looks from what I can see.
I think that looks good. Especially up in his head, right? Is that good? Is he popping?
Oh, he's popping.
Ah. All right.
What color is that?
This is probably Payne's Gray. Is my number one. Yeah, Payne's Gray is my number one, like dark color.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to use black. I mean, I like black, but I try not to use black too often.
Mm-hmm.
So I just try to think about these shapes as being like, even though I lightened them and made them like super fun, they're still gonna have like a dark side and a light side, right?
Right.
Okay. So we really kind of like completely lost that hard stencil. I mean, it's under there. We kind of like lost it as like a
the oval stencil?
This stencil, this hard stencil that we had down here, we kind of lost it.
Oh, the floral one that he was like, that was underneath the bird?
Yeah. I mean, it's very painterly and very abstract.
Yeah.
He's gone. Well, let's think about it. We'll leave it for now. But I'd love to see you try. I'd love to see you try to go back to this painting.
I will.
Okay.
Definitely after seeing that.
Well, I'm going to scan it for you. I'll scan it for you. All right. So you want to work on that. Let me turn this light out so I can see you.
All right.
Yeah, can you turn it out? Blinding. All right, so let's see what
So I did like what you said. I did She said do 2 or 3 more. So this is the one that we worked on together, and I put you said to put some oval stencils, and I did. I don't know if you can see them with my lighting. Does that make it? Can you see I put some oval, like a little nest almost there. I don't even know. Can you see it or not?
The bird looks great. So I would do, Andrea, one thing, I would soften the text behind the bird. And how would you do that?
Well, I could use some clear, or I could even go in with a translucent white.
I would make one of our little masky things.
Oh, okay.
And maybe just do a translucent layer on there in like a light, very light coffee color, or a greeny, like very, like these, like look how pretty, like these colors. Like, I think these are your colors.
I have something similar to that I made.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And then lightness. So this is like this is like neutral white, and chartreuse green, right? Mm-hmm. And it's so beautiful because what the neutral white does is kind of like cream, like ivory, creams down the chartreuse green. And then you could add a Payne's gray or something in there to like kind of give a darker shade of it. It turns it very blue though, but either way, beautiful.
What's very blue?
Oh, Payne's gray tends to be a kind of bluish.
Oh.
I'll take a picture of all the colors that we used today though.
I just recently got some of that, so I don't even think I used it yet.
I love Payne's gray. It's like one of my favorite colors. All right, so are we going to work on that one, or are we going to work on a new one?
Yeah, well, I'll continue with this one. The other ones that I did, I'll show you. So when I printed them out, I did full black and white. I didn't want to use the colored,
colored flower. Okay, because I can.
Yeah, I painted it in myself with watercolor paints, which I'm just like going nuts over. I'm loving that.
Isn't that so fun?
This is my third.
One other thing, Andrea, that you could get that would be really fun for you is this thing called they're called intense sticks, and they're not crayons. They're like square charcoal pencils, but they're actually watercolor, so you can draw with them.
Oh.
And then you take a paintbrush and then you can expand them. So rather than having to paint, you can actually. I mean, there's a big difference, I think, between using a paintbrush to go around something and using a drawing tool and then using the paintbrush. So,
I have some watercolor pencils actually, now that I think about it.
Right. You could use watercolor pencils, or if you wanted to try the intense sticks, they come in little bars like this, babe. Look, they come like this. They're so fun and cool. They come like this. And then you can draw with them. You can draw a straight line. You can draw an outside line, right? And then you just take a brush and you can expand them and move them around.
Nice. I'm always willing to go buy a new art supply.
Oh my gosh. I saw a demo. Well, because I've really tried to get my lines to become more abstract, and you'll figure out what you're comfortable using to get sort of yourself out of your own way, so to speak. That's why I always call it like get out of my own way.
Need to do that. I really need to do that.
Yeah, what frees you up? I mean, what inspires you and brings, like, it's kind of like finding your sport, like what do you feel comfortable with having fun? Like what brings you,
gardening, photographing.
Right, or like even like with tennis, like do you like ball sports, or like what, yoga, dancing,
dancing and yoga,
okay. So do you have a layer of wax medium on there?
Well, on this one, I mean, I'm all the way up to that stencil. Remember the planes, the stencil just done with medium.
Okay. Oh, this is the first one. This is not the new. This is the first one.
Yeah, this is the first one.
So what do you feel like it needs now?
I kind of like the idea of doing the oval stencil with the, was it with the chartreuse?
Yeah, I'm seeing a semicircle, Andrea. I'm seeing like
All
this.
right.
I'm seeing this shape. I'm
All
seeing
right.
this shape, but maybe not so oblong, like more like a moon, like a half a moon.
All right.
Does that make sense? So if you have a piece of
Yeah.
scrap paper,
I do.
you know what? And honestly, for this, Andrew, you could be using newsprint, scrap paper, newspaper. I mean, just whatever.
Yeah.
Cardstock.
So just like you're saying, just sort of like a moon shape, like.
Yeah. So I fold the paper in half, and then I just cut it out.
All
Or if
right.
you just need half, you could just cut from the bottom.
Yeah. Let's see.
You're only going to need half the circle. If you want the whole circle, you could fold it in half. If you only need half a circle.
All right. Let's see if I have any scissors somewhere.
Ah, oh my God. I am finally, Andrea, so proud of myself that I have almost all of my supplies in one place and I keep putting them back. I'm getting better. Like scissors are over there, sandpaper's over there.
I'm going to go find some scissors.
Andrea, I made a tape box.
All right, I've got them.
I made myself a tape box. Do you know how proud I am of myself?
A tape box?
I made a tape box, yeah, like one cardboard box filled with all my rolls of tape. And I've been really good. Like I've been putting the tape back in the tape box at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, that's the key.
That is the key. Actually, I heard a funny thing on the radio the other day that someone was talking about like the best advice. Like somebody wrote like his advice to life, like to his kids or something. But like that was one of the things he said is that when you take something and use a tool or something, put it back not where you found it, but like where it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
Right.
If I could get everybody in my family to do that, I would be a whole new person.
I know, right? But us too. I mean, think how much like easier, like how much time we waste looking for stuff. Like keys go on the keyboard and tape goes in the tape drawer. And
oh, it drives me nuts when I need something and I can't find it.
I know.
So this is already pretty translucent. This was a paint that I made a while back ago.
Okay. I like the idea of that like ivory, creamy, green, light green. Especially green and orange are really beautiful together, and buttery yellow.
Mm. That does sound pretty.
I know. Like think of the cantaloupe. Okay, remind me too. I'm going to send you an email with the photos I took of the colors today. I'll send you a photo of the piece I painted and Hope Khan's name.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And she does encaustic too. She does a lot of stuff. She's bouncing all around all the time, like pinhole, collage.
That's always fun.
Yeah, pinhole's crazy. I saw pinhole some work the other day, and it looked like actually an ultrasound picture.
Wow.
Kind of reminded me of like when we saw those pictures of our babies.
Fun stuff. So I'm thinking about doing the semicircle. So, well, if I do it like that, then I'm going to.
I love it like that. That's like more creative, right? Like if you do it straight up and down, but I love that. Go a little bit higher.
But I'm going to cover the bird with this color.
Yeah, that's what we want. Remember, we want to cover it and then uncover, right? Which makes it look more painterly, right?
Okay.
So,
all right.
And if you can't, and remember, just like I showed you, if you're having a little trouble getting it off, just zap it with the heat gun for 1 hot second, like literally like on, off, and then it comes off, right?
Yeah.
Oh, pretty color.
It is very pretty.
I love that. Because what you're doing now is you're sort of really learning how to paint with encaustic, right? Is you're really layering and weaving these parts together. And what I liked the best about when I painted for you this morning was when I had that little bristle brush and those pretty bluey purple colors, and I was making like those layers over the white.
Oh yeah,
that
was
looked
nice.
So pretty. Didn't that look beautiful?
That was very pretty.
Right.
I don't have another color here to do anything like that. Well, maybe with the next.
Gorgeous. Do you like that shape? Oh, I love that shape. Okay, so now fuse it and then remove the wax on the bird. And you're going to love it. And don't feel like you have to be cookie cutter. Like, it's okay if there's a little bit of green on the bird.
Yeah. Okay.
And also a little bit of texture, because you can always go over that texture or whatever with a little bit of a dark pigment stick or pan pastel. It's like, kind of don't worry about like a stain. Like, it's almost like staining a towel. Like, don't worry about it, because we can just take that stain out.
Yeah.
The other thing is, Andrew, do you have some woody crayons? Excuse me.
I do.
Oh, good. Okay, because they're always good for like adding a little line or detail towards the end, right?
Yeah. Ooh, I dug in really hard right there.
That's okay.
It's still a little warm.
And did you check with your painting? Is there anywhere else you can add that green?
Yeah, I did put a little bit of it over in the lower hand corner over here.
Okay, good. I always like to add a color more than one place.
You know what I wonder? Should I turn my tablet so that I'm more of a horizontal view?
No, it's fine. No, because I think it's fine. I can see your whole piece and I can see your hot plate. Oh, I just popped my ears.
Oh my. You okay? You okay?
Yeah, I just blew my, you know how sometimes when you blow your nose, you pop your ears? Right, so think too, like all those little marks you're making are like in this conversation about like the bird's feathers, right?
Oh yeah, it's looking very much like the feathers.
Right, so it's almost like, and really don't feel like you need to remove all the green, because if you just take a nice dark gray or dark browny gray, you can make a color for the bird and you can just kind of work off of that nice texture that the green wax is made.
Yeah, it's made a really, really nice texture.
Right. So I'm feeling, oh yeah, gorgeous. So that's beautiful. So do you feel like the background white, like the rest of the panel is too bright white? The other corner, yeah. The left.
This one it's actually not very white. That was one of my criticisms about this morning. I was looking at it and I was thinking it might be a little drab.
Right. So let's do something to it. Drab and meaning like too stark, like too bright, or too.
No, I was thinking that maybe because I was trying to make it well, when we put that white on there, when we did that last coat of like the bright white and we just pulled it halfway across, I was understanding that as being like the light source.
Yeah. It is. So, but do you feel like it's too simple?
Yeah.
Do you feel like it needs some more texture? And also, so wait, I want to just mention one thing. So when I look at the piece from far away, like right now, the bird is a shape, but your flowers, they look like it looks like a seahorse. So
Oh yeah.
like it's just the shape. It's like it's kind of an S shape. So in a way, I feel like the flowers need the color and the shape. It is competing with the bird. So there's a couple things we can do here. There's a couple things we can do here. So we can take the flowers and go all the way with another type of flower into the lower corner, right? Or we can try to like soften them.
Yeah.
So you've like so you have like a fork in the road. So you can either add more flowers, and if you added more flowers, you could add them in not a dark color, but like a pastel-y orange or a pastel-y yellow or a light brown or a light purple, right? Or you can try to do more green, like you know your climate and your environment in Florida. So you know what it looks like. You have to kind of tap into what you know it looks like around you and go, oh, like there'd be probably a lot of greenery, right? Like a lot of green, like palm fronds, like you said, or things like that. And because you said you wanted to incorporate nature and your environment with these birds, right? To kind of talk about their life and their, you know, you want safety and you want them to have a beautiful living environment. So maybe you could kind of soften the intensity of those flowers there by adding more green leaves around them. These are just I mean, they're just suggestions, but you really have to decide which one you're comfortable with.
So I'm just getting rid of that straight line that was really bothering me. I've got this straight line that's appeared right here. I almost feel like I need to incorporate more of these flowers here.
Yeah.
Going in down through here or something. Maybe bring them on around.
Okay.
That's kind of what I'm feeling, and maybe pull in some more of this orangey color. It's underneath, maybe a little bit orange and whites, soft whites here to sort of, keep that eye moving.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I'm thinking.
Turn your piece towards me again. I also feel like this top one, the top flower, the one closest to his beak, that thing, it's too dark. It's too strong. It's just distracting from the bird.
Okay.
So maybe, and
I see that.
Right. So also too, in terms of like height and like dominance of subject matter in the picture, they're competing. It's almost like there's almost two birds there, or and I'm just really oversimplifying the composition to say there's two things, same size, one is slightly going this way, one's this way, like what is more important? So again, another technique and idea is just to add translucent glazes on it, right? And again, like I liked how you used the half circle. So maybe there's like, maybe you want to make a circle stencil. And maybe you want to put like a circle over that flower in a color, and then another circle somewhere. I mean, I love polka dots, but if you could do a square. Like there's an artist named Camille, and he always uses a square. Like that's his signature thing, is that he has, so if you cut like a square out of a piece of paper, then you could put a square there, you could put another square, you could put another square. You could also put a leaf shape there, right? So you could cut a stencil that was like a nice, just simple leaf shape, and you could put a leaf shape there in a translucent layer just to continue, and then you could put it someplace else to kind of suggest, that's beautiful. Yeah, perfect. So perfect. So it could be like a creamy beige, it could be a little bit, it could be that green again in another tone, lighter or darker. And then you could also do that same stencily thing somewhere else, like you were saying, like at the bottom. And then maybe it could be, so what I'm trying to encourage you to is to use shapes that are not cookie cutter, like leaf or flower. They're not identifiable. They're suggestive of organic things, like botanical things, right?
Yeah. I think I might want to put in actually another one, because I'm seeing,
Yeah.
I like it, really pretty, because it actually sort of like, you can still see there's a flower under there.
Yes, but it's not in your face, and it's not, okay, so look, Andrea, what you just did is so beautiful, is you're actually prioritizing what the viewer is paying attention to, and using the translucent glazes to create mystery, right? And so it's like a hierarchy. Andrea, it's a hierarchy, right? It's like what is the most visible is the most important, and what you blur down by using translucent layers becomes there, like in the atmosphere, but not competing with the bird.
Right.
So it's like these layers. And also I think that the translucent layers just are beautiful.
They are.
Right.
They're gorgeous. So, I'm going to do another one right in this area.
Right. And I like the other two shapes. And you could start like, and look what I just did. I was just sitting here, but that oval, like I poked all these holes in it, just with the needle. But like the next time I use it, I'm going to have like little hole, like it could just be another cool pattern. So like I could make a leaf shape and I could poke a few holes in it. I mean, you can just make these handmade stencils. And this is like a very common shape for me. Like I like this kind of like cellular, imperfect oval. For a long time, I was actually cutting my photos. I was cutting like the corners off my photos and making them into these sort of like more circular, softer shapes. Just since they weren't the standard, 8x10 sort of rectangle,
Yeah. You're very brave doing that.
Well, that to me just seems so like stiff and photographic and masculine, right? So this is a much more feminine form for me.
Yeah.
Like more cellular.
It's very true.
Right.
Very true.
Softer.
Yeah.
And then two, you're going to start to really become more familiar with your own intuitive, what I call context and syntax, which is like the shapes and forms that speak to your inner nature, right? Outside of what you know to be real in reality. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
So that's interesting too. Some people are very triangular, some people are very linear.
Yeah.
I'm not either. I'm a little triangular, but I actually like to paint in. Oh shoot.
Where'd you go?
I fell off the shelf. Humpty Dumpty.
I'm wondering how long that was gonna last.
Aw. I fell off the shelf.
So my last little, I'm not sure if my last little one was as successful as the first one that I did. You kind of can't see the shape. That's what it is. It got really blurred in there. The colors are really pretty though.
No, I love it.
But I'm not sure that it accomplished very much. I have this, I think I'm going to have to knock back this other orange flower here a little bit, because
I agree. It's too bright.
It's really grabbing my eye.
Right. It's too bright.
Okay. So I should probably give that a quick fusing. I don't even remember if I fused that green. I don't think I did. Oh, I did.
So, and then remember too, like now that you've created these sort of translucent shapes and glazes, you can also go over the top of them with a little bit of pan pastel, you can also draw into them, you know,
Mhm.
and sort of like I was doing, like just playing with, you know, pushing and pulling the surface texture, right? You
Yeah, I think I should do that because I've lost that flower imagery.
Uh-huh.
And I think it'd be nice to bring it back with some engraving in there. There it is. Like right in this area.
That's good. And then are you thinking a color that you're gonna pop in there, or like what about darker green? What about playing with some green?
Yeah, it definitely needs to be a darker color.
Dark green. Do you have like Turkish green, umber? You know, you might really like green gold. Do you own a green gold?
What do you think? Are we talking pan pastels or pigment sticks?
Green gold is an RNF color. It's beautiful.
I'll have to see if I even have that. I probably don't. I don't have a lot of.
If you have a green and if you you said you had Payne's gray, right?
I believe I do. Let's see.
The sap green and Turkish green umber and the chartreuse.
Yeah.
Those are all good greens.
Yeah, I do have actually a pretty nice green here. It looks like it's sort of like I don't know, it's kind of a darker, it's a darker sap green.
Oh, sap green's beautiful. Mix a little bit of that up in there.
I don't know, my wax is kind of warm. I might be breaking it down a bit.
Oh, yeah. You just need a little bit more time.
I could maybe, you know what I could do? I could use a paintbrush to get it in there maybe.
You can use a paintbrush or
I'll do it like
or
this.
You can do if you feel, yeah, you can do a paintbrush.
Yeah, I don't want to, because I think that's really soft in there.
Do you have it as you have it as an encaustic paint, not as a pigment stick?
No, it is a pigment stick. I'm just liquefying it.
Yeah. Do you have pigment stick extender?
I do. Yeah.
That's a nice way to do it too, or just like make it more thin it down a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. I'll run some of that through there.
Yeah, you could even put a little bit on the end of a paper towel, and then when you go to rub it, use that as the rubbing.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's almost like 10 after 11.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Okay.
Oh, well, actually it's weird. Okay, my laptop says 10 after 11, but my phone says 11:05. So I don't know.
Yeah. And mine says 11:08.
I want to see you rub that in first. So
okay.
I want to see that. And then when are we meeting again?
You know what? This is our last class.
What?
Yeah, because my first one was 2 hours, remember?
Oh, that's right. Oh.
Yeah. It's been a lot of fun. I've gotten a lot out of it. But I'll keep going with this. And I love the way it's coming out too.
Right, and remember, this is like a tug of war. It's like a give and take, right? So you're gonna get the impulse to try something, and then you're gonna live with it. Oh, I love that. And you know what, Andrea, I cannot tell you how beautiful it is that orange seahorse isn't
The orange seahorse.
Oh my God, the orange seahorse is quieted. Oh, that's so, and you know what? The dark in comparison to the orange with the bird is just so much prettier. Now, if you wanted to add a little bit of like a peachy pan pastel, like very translucent into like the outer realms of that, like over to the left, right in there, you could kind of, and again, Andrea, remember, we're like suggesting gently, like we're not over illustrating or trying to be literal, but you could just take the pan pastel and do like boop, 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 like little petals, and then just like ghosty it in there, and it would look really beautiful.
Yeah.
Kind of like dream spaces.
I'll keep at it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a beautiful piece. All right, well, okay, I hate goodbyes, but okay, so I know I'll see you again, right, somewhere.
Oh, yeah, you'll see me again. I'm coming to Texas in December.
Okay, me too.
Inshallah. I hope that happens. And I'll probably be on another one of your encaustic. I've been joining the encaustic group, so I'll probably be entering another group class. So.
Oh, good. Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to do.
I'm out there.
Yay. I know. Keep up the good work. And did I ever send, you got to remind me, did I ever connect you to the girls in Florida?
Oh, no, we haven't done that yet.
Okay.
I'm sure I can look them up easily if you don't think about it. It's okay. I'll find them.
No, you just got to remind me.
Okay.
Sherry, and I'm trying to think of the other one. I think it's, oh my God, I'm totally spacing on her. Madeline.
Okay.
Okay, and they run the Naples group. And then my friend Juan is also in Florida in Palm Beach.
Yeah, she's like an hour and a half away. So I'm in between everybody. It's cool. We're a triangle.
Oh, that's perfect. Oh, you're so lucky. It's beautiful out there. And you'll like Hope's work for sure. She does a lot of really cool encaustic work. Awesome.
Thank you.
And I'll send you this. Can you, you just have to email me your address.
Okay. You're so sweet. All right.
Fine. I loved painting this one. It was so fun.
Thanks. I'm glad. Well, thank you for everything, and I'll see you soon. All right.
Good job. Beautiful, beautiful work. Keep it up and stay in touch. And I can't wait to see you. I can't wait. I hope we make it to December. I mean, we'll make it to December. I hope we make it to Texas.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Have a great day.
You too.
Okay.